I honestly don't think I would ever find anybody that would make me feel the way you make me feel, or that would love me the way that you love me. I've never seen a love so consistent.
It comes so easy when it's loving someone like you. You make it easy because you receive it wholeheartedly, and you make it easy to give love back. Hello everybody, we are back with Covenant Union, this podcast about marriage, Christian living and parenting. My name is Ray.
And I'm Ali.
Today we wanted to share with you the reason why we chose each other.
Just to share how we arrived at this anyway. It's worth thinking back on. So you meet this person, of course fall in love, get to know them. How do people actually arrive at that point of, this is the person I see myself with long term? How do you make that decision? And we're like, oh, maybe we should actually talk about our personal reasons. And then as we spoke, we noticed that we'd not had this conversation before.
Yeah.
So deep down, we also went with the flow, like most people. But we never actually ever sat down to say, so this is why I chose you. This is why I saw myself doing life with you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, how did you see yourself? How did you, because when you say going with the flow, it makes me think, like for me, yes, I went with the flow, and when I sat down to actually look back and see the reasons why they were there, it's just that...
You'd never thought about them?
No, I did, but there were more than actually I thought of. Like, you go back and start realizing, I chose this person because of the way they did this and that, or the way they tweaked my life. And sometimes when you're going with the flow, you forget to live in that moment of, wow, this person is doing something that I actually like. Yeah, and it was an interesting discovery for some of the things that I looked back on. I don't know how yours went.
I think because for me, I'd had this conversation with myself before we even got married.
Yeah.
So it was just looking back and saying, okay, so what were my reasons? But it wasn't even a hard thought process because I remember at some point last year, I was being very intentional about, I would wake up in the morning and before I start my day, I would watch the montage video of our wedding.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know if you noticed.
No, sometimes I would hear the song in the background. Yeah. I'm thinking,
but it was my way of trying to take myself back to that moment, to remind myself of my whys.
Yeah.
Because I know that as the years have gone by, I find more reason for this marriage. Yeah, so for me, it wasn't something I really had to think hard and long about.
No, not hard and long. It's the sense of, you know why you chose that person. But as time goes by, we tend to forget why we chose the person. Not forget, but it becomes a memory of...
You're too familiar with the situation.
Exactly. And revisiting that situation, for me, made me realize how much I still choose you. So revisiting the situation was, in the sense, it was taking me back to the place, like you said when you were watching the video, just to remind yourself, this moment was my time to go like, wait, there were all these things that I saw in her. And even more, now that I look back, I'm thinking, wow, there was much more than what I saw on the surface, because as you grow in marriage, I even started to realize the reason I choose you every day, because there are new things that happen every day. So the choosing of a person is a continuous, it's a daily practice.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree.
What was one of your reasons?
My first reason was, and at the time I think we used to chat a lot. I think it was Facebook if I'm not mistaken. And it was sharing about our lives, our hopes, our dreams, and as sharing some things that I wanted to do with my life, and you didn't find them weird. Every person I'd been with previously and had shared some of those things thought, you're just weird. One of those things was I've always known that I wanted to adopt a child. And I remember you being so open to it, and most people that I'd ever had that conversation with would think, what's the problem? Are you unable to have your own children? Are you, like, why are you choosing this? I'm like, but that is something that I know I want for me to just better a child's life.
Yeah.
And now I look back and I realize most of the decisions we've made as a married couple, I'm not even quite sure, but maybe that's what made you open to opening up our home to so many people.
Yeah, because your heart was in that place. Your heart was in a place of you're welcome no matter who you are, especially when it came to kids. And, well, for me, kids bring joy.
So yeah, it was those small things of you embracing my dreams, you embracing my, without judgment, without even questioning. It was, oh, so this is something that matters to you. Okay. I don't think I would mind that. And then I started thinking, I can see my life with this person. Then the second thing, and I'm all for, I think if I could go back in my life, I would choose to keep myself for marriage. And I'm all for that. But one of the things I'm thankful for, having previously been with other people, I knew exactly what I didn't want in my life. I knew how I didn't want to be treated. I knew how I didn't want anybody to make me feel. I was very clear on that. I was very self-aware in that area, that when you came along, it was exactly what I needed.
Oh.
Like, it was someone who was so intentional in the way you treated me. You were so particular. If I said I liked something, then you tried to do it. Even when I was wrong and you corrected me, you always corrected me in love. There was never judgment. So I could see this being a long-term thing. And then the third thing that... No, there are two more things, I think. The third thing that initially I fought it was how calm our relationship was.
Yeah.
So you know when you're in love and there are all these butterflies and it's exciting and like we're talking the other day, I honestly think that's what lust is. And I'm not saying being in love is not exciting and all these things. It truly is. And we have that. Of course, it's even more at the beginning of a relationship, but there's something very calm which was new for me. Initially, I thought maybe I don't feel enough for this person. But then it was such a solid feeling. And to this day, I think it's one of those things that holds us so fundamentally together. Yeah. The fourth thing, of course, was as soon as we got together, we were both drawn back to God. Without even realizing it, we were both drawn back to God. And for me, that was a clear sign. That was, this is it, Ali. It's not going to get better than this. It's not, you know, you're with people and you're thinking, no, I can, not that I can do better, but life could be better. You keep hoping, maybe I'll find a richer person, but no. At that point, I just knew. Yeah.
Wow. It was deep.
Deep goes unto deep.
Well, yeah. The number one reason why I chose you was because you looked beautiful. The first day I saw you, I just saw beauty. It was a strange beauty. It never faded, no matter how your hair looked, no matter, I mean, even when I would see you when we had had enough, we had had a bit too much to drink, it never faded. And when I was remembering that, oh, okay, of course I'm a guy, the first C, and
that's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, this is such a guy answer.
Yes, and I don't want to be, how should I put it, romantically right, looking for other things. The truth is, you are beautiful, and that for me just, yeah, as soon as I saw it, like, this is beauty. And the number 2 thing was, you made me be me. I was in a place where I had a mask, should I say, a mask over my face. It was a mask over who I was. This joker, vulgar-mouthed underachiever, and life was just happening, and I'd been told I was charming, so I thought I could charm my way into your life, and it didn't work. I thought I would joke my way into your life, and it didn't work. I pulled out all my cards and it didn't work. And I pulled out this one card that I think I had thrown away many years ago. I just decided to be me. And as soon as that happened, it was, first of all, as soon as I decided to be me, it's when I was honest about my feelings, and I told you how I felt. And from there, one thing led to another, and it was awesome. And the beautiful thing about that is coming to the next reason where I loved our conversations. We talked about our pasts. We talked about the present, but we talked most about our future. That was new. That was really new in my life, and I started to see my life, because we talked about the future. All I could see was my life with you in the future, because as we talked about our dreams, we talked about different things that would want to happen in the future. All of a sudden, the images of ourselves together receiving these things became evident. They became real in my mind, and that caused the looks, that everything else to become so pronounced in me. My emotions were pronounced, my everything was pronounced. And the day I knew, okay, this is it, was your maternal virtue. It has been like no other I've ever met in my life. And I saw that from the way she treated her nieces, my nephew. Her maternal virtue is encompassed by truth, by caring, this nurturing that comes from the depths of someone's heart. You can't quite put a finger on it, but when you see it happen, you know that there's a God. That kind of love that she pours out. And that is when I said, you know what? I know by that time we had already decided to be together forever. But I proposed because I knew for a fact that if we were to bring children in this world, even if I'm not there, they have a mother who is going to guide them to greatness. And that virtue for me was something else. I saw her treat my nieces more than I could imagine. And wow. And it still happens up to now. And it's one of the reasons I choose you again. Of course, those reasons, were they 4? I didn't even count them. And then you made me see more in my life. I've always looked for people to give me affirmations, to cheerlead me and all that. but you hardly do any of that, yet you do it. You get what I mean? I don't hear you, but I see you, I feel you there. And you pushed me beyond my boundaries. When I was still a gig man, you pushed me beyond my boundaries. You made me see things like, if you're going to do this, do it wholeheartedly. And everything I did from then started to become more intentional. And going into our kids, into our marriage, and later on, and now, even now as we speak, one of the reasons I choose you every day is because I'm always a better man compared to my yesterday. Because I know that if I've done something and you tell me, you don't like it, I search it at night. Because of who you are, I decided to be that person to make sure all ends up unorbitted. And it does make me a better man. I search for mentors. I search for people who have done things that would make me a better husband, that would make me a better father to my children, just because of how much you believe in me. Yeah, that's it.
I think that pretty much okay, for me, I would think my reasons pretty much, I know there are those tiny details and stuff, but those for me were the major things that made me go like, I can see myself with this person long term. Someone who sees you, someone who makes you feel valued, someone who appreciates you, someone who comes to you in love, who honors you. And for me, and in this, how many people are in the world? What's the world population?
7.something billion.
Yes. Whatever the world population is, I honestly don't think I would ever find anybody that would make me feel the way you make me feel, or that would love me the way that you love me. I've never seen a love so consistent. Like on a good day, on a bad day, it's almost 10 years.
Yeah.
And it's been the most consistent thing I have ever known.
Well, it comes easy when it's you that I'm loving. You make it easy because you receive it wholeheartedly, and you make it easy to give love, by the way.
I can only say, I guess when you're receiving, it's very easy to also pour back into somebody when your cup is never empty. So I guess we both do a good job at pouring into each other, but also receiving.
Yeah. And that's why we choose each other every day. And this topic made us, I don't know for you, but it made me go down
memory lane.
Not memory lane, actually. It made me go down a rabbit hole to just keep looking for the things I love about you, and I just keep writing and writing and writing. If I actually wrote what I liked about you every day, it would be like, you'd realize that all these bouts you have, all these disagreements you have, don't compare to what this person has done for you throughout your life and throughout the day. Because an argument is like a few minutes, and then the whole day you've been together, or you've been talking, and there's so much more than that argument.
Maybe this is something you could decide to do maybe this week or sometime. Actually sit down and look back on why you chose your person.
Yeah.
And let them know why you chose them. Don't find out why you chose them and then you keep it to yourself.
You go and tell your best friend.
Yes. And you go and tell your bestie. So the other day I was thinking about why I married this person. No. That's information that's for them. So,
when we said that, it made me realize that one of the reasons we tell each other everything is because when we were beginning to choose each other, we had gone into this whole friendship.
Yes.
And we had isolated ourselves to find out who we are, basically.
And like I always say, if anybody ever asked me for advice about marriage, I'll just tell them, and as cliche as it sounds, for me it will always be marry
your best friend. Yeah.
So, yeah.
Thank you for watching. This has been Covenant Union. And we'll be seeing you again next week. I am Ray.
And I'm Ali.
God bless you.
See you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.